Hi, welcome to the Chef Ava Marie TOC Happy Hour. Uh, I am your host, Chef Ava Marie, and today we are so excited to welcome a TOC4 competitor on the show. But before we get started, I need to have tell my viewers at home that we're doing an initiative for South San Francisco residents called um, Save MSB. So if you're a South San Francisco resident or a Bay Area resident, our goal is to save MSB for Senior Center. So please take the initiative and sign the petition. So that's all we need you to do. So as we go to the show, since it's all about Tournament of Champions, please welcome to a Tournament of Champions host, actually a competitor, and Chef Kendall Jackson Wines. And I welcome Chef Tracy. Here she is. Hello, Chef. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
So how was your day been? What was it like competing at TOC for as a
Uh,
competitor?
my day's been great. First of all, thank you for having me. Um, Competing on Tournament of Champions for it was so many things, honestly. It was crazy and um, it was I was so honored to be included. It was so challenging. Um, overall, mostly it was just an amazing experience.
That's fantastic. So, did you watch the show just 1 hour ago? Because there were a lot of upsets and a lot of fairy tales going around there.
I did not watch yet today, but I do kind of know some of the what has gone on
Oh yeah.
this season. So what happened today? Who competed today?
I did an analyst work. I'm usually an analyst, like the analytics. So, what happened this episode was Chef Dale wasn't he won and he's going up against Tobias.
Yeah.
So he's from Top Chef Chicago and Top Chef All Stars
Yes.
from the Philippines. And then you remember Krista from Wine Country? What was it
Yeah.
like working with Krista?
Krista's one of my great chef friends.
Oh.
She and I we're tight. So being able to be on Tournament of Champions with Krista was really great because we've been friends for a long time, and she had done
Oh,
it the year before as well.
so
So to have
sweet.
her there, to have a friend there, I am friends with a lot of the chefs that I was able to
Oh yeah.
compete with, and I got to be better friends with them through the experience of competing, quite honestly, and then just being part of the experience together. But Krista and I have been
Wow.
friends long before this. So to have her there when I was competing, to have her be there as a support and a confidant and a cheerleader, it was really extra special to have her be there.
Yeah. So I was also reading something on the analytics that Michael Patagio was working for Jose Andres prior to Top Chef and Food Network, which is a fact, and he actually won his way to back in the arena.
Yeah,
And
did
he's
he?
friends, yeah, and he actually is in, and he's really talented chef.
So do you know that he also was the chef at Charlie Palmer's Dry Creek Kitchen for a year, many years ago?
Oh, as a young kid, no way.
Yeah, so he lived in this area in Sonoma County for about a year. I want to say maybe the third year that Charlie Palmer's place in Healdsburg was open, he
Oh,
came and was the chef for about a year. And he and I have known each other since back then. And we also
oh,
have the connection. We were both born in Maryland. He was raised there for longer than I was. I was born in Maryland, but my family left when I was really little. But
oh.
he and I, when we first met years ago, when he was the chef in Healdsburg, that was kind of an instant connection that just, something we had in common.
Interesting that
Yes.
Potagio,
Yep.
because he's such an innovator.
That's
So
a
let's
great
get
word to
to,
describe him.
yeah. So I remember meeting you back in 2018 on this
Wow.
studio audience backstage with my sister and her mom and my best friend's mom, Debbie. And
Yeah.
she says hi, by the way. So
Hi, Debbie.
she says hi. So she's watching. So, and we met Jet Tila and Artie Sakura, known
Yes.
as the Artie Party. So what was it like working with Artie?
Artie is a sweetheart. I've known her for a few years just from being on Guys Grocery Games,
You're a
and
champ.
she has been my judge on Guys Grocery Games. I want to say two times for me, and she's always been so gracious and just she's one of those judges that you it's her job to judge you, so that's what she's there to do. But
Oh
she
yeah,
does it with such kindness that it doesn't break your heart.
that's sweet. And then I saw the judges of today were Scott Koenig, Marcus Samuelson, and Nancy Silva. Did that judge everybody's plates on episode 4?
That's a tough round of judges. That is
It
a very tough
is,
round.
yeah.
So when I was in my round in Tournament of Champions, Scott Conant was one of my judges as
Oh,
well.
you're a
He
freaking
is a tough
tournament.
he is a tough judge, and I think now Nancy Silverton was as well. I had Scott and Nancy as
But
two of
not
my judges.
Marcus.
No, not Marcus, but Marcus has judged me on another episode of Guys Grocery Games. So
Oh,
I've encountered all of those judges, such talented chefs. Um, it's you when you're in that experience and you're being judged by those chefs, you're kind of like it's a mixed bag
they're
because you're like,
impressed.
exactly, you're standing there and you're impressed and they're such icons, but you're also being judged by them, so it can be feel it can feel hard.
Yeah, it's about putting the best dish and create presentation forward.
It's all you
Because
can
I
do.
always, that's what my friend Becca taught me. Always focus on the presentation.
Yeah, and well, it has to taste good too.
That's so true. So, especially wherever you go. So,
Yeah.
so I have another question for you. I have a
Yeah,
copy of your cookbook. It's as big as a tabletop.
it is.
What inspired you to write a cookbook with your partner?
um this cookbook, it's a mouthful, right? It's called Seasons, a Year
Yeah.
of Wine Country Food, Farming, Family, and Friends.
Mhm.
Um, but that all of those things is exactly what inspired this book because I live and work in wine country, and how we cook and how we eat and what inspires us is all of those things. It
Yeah.
is it's obviously food seasonality because we're so much about the seasons, and
Yeah.
especially where I work at Kendall Jackson, we have a
Yeah.
beautiful garden, culinary garden, and so we're very driven by what's
Hmm.
growing in our garden. Obviously, I'm a chef of a winery, so wine very much
Wow.
determines what and how I cook. But just in general, being able to share those philosophies on cooking for people, but really focusing on wine pairings and seasonality and sharing all of those ideas with people and really sharing wine pairings because there are a lot of cookbooks out there and there might be a lot of wine books, but there are very few books that put
Yeah.
those two together.
That is knowledgeable. A piece of knowledge. I just we're gonna be releasing a memoir in May.
Yeah.
It's actually about my life and culinary journey. So
Wow.
I just got my Kindle out, but I'm actually getting a paperback coming soon.
Well, I can't wait. You're going to have to send me a copy for sure.
I will send you one, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
send Guy Fieri one and Jet Taylor. I want them to have a
Yeah.
copy.
Yeah. I'm sure they would very much appreciate that.
Oh, I miss Jet Taylor. He's a great chef.
Yes. Yes. I agree.
So how is Jetila doing these days? You still talk to him from time to time?
I know. I mean, he and I know him through, through the shows and stuff, but not in
Me
that way.
too.
Not in that way. But every time I've encountered him, again, he is, that's the crazy thing on all these shows. I've never once, of all the shows that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of, I've never once encountered anyone that has been unkind or
Yeah.
snotty or snobby, or from the contestants to all the way to the judges, to Guy, to the whole crew. Everyone is so kind and welcoming, and just, no one's there to make anybody feel bad for
No.
any reason at all. No one is there. It's all so everyone that I've ever encountered, and that's probably my favorite part of being able to do these shows, is meeting the chefs and being able
Yes.
to form relationships with some of them that I have grown to be friends with, but even just meeting some of the chefs. And I mean, that's pretty
They
amazing.
have PRs too. They have agents. So
Sure.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially Guy Fieri, he has a PR, a publicist. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
imagine so. Yeah.
it's tough out there, especially in the world we live in. So
Hmm.
so I want to ask you another question. While you were on TOC4, what chefs did you connect with? Not only any spoilers, but did you ever connect with Graham Elliott or Jose Garces?
Yeah, I mean, I've met and hung out with all of them. Some of the chefs that I was able to really, form tighter bonds with, Monique Chohan. Um,
Oh, she's
and
sweet.
she's wonderful. And she and I've been able to cook together a few times since the show. She and I are actually going to be cooking together again here in May for Healdsburg Wine and Food.
That's
So
good.
she's become a great friend and confidant for me. Tiffany Faison, another one. I
Oh,
mean,
that
she's just like
tough
a
lady.
power. I mean, she is a powerhouse, but she is also genuine and sweet and honest and thoughtful, and really just have enjoyed to get to know her. Shirley Chung, who I competed against, but love her so much. Every time she's in town, I try to connect with her. And obviously Krista and
Oh,
Stephanie
Krista's the best.
Izard, who's out of Los Angeles. She's become, I mean, so many great, Karen Akunowitz, um,
Oh yeah, the list
Carlos
goes on.
Anthony. I mean, I can, and I say this not in a bragging way. That I've been so fortunate to be able to, that's the thing when you're competing on a show like TOC, it's like camp. We called it chef camp because you're all there
It's a
together.
program.
And you're all staying at the same place, and so you're really with each other for a concentrated amount of time, so you get time to be together. You're not all filming on the same
Uh-huh.
days, so you're really spending some time together with
Yeah.
these chefs, and you're on set with them, and then you're
Oh
off
yeah.
set with them. And so it's actually an amazing opportunity. It's like two opportunities in one. The
Yeah.
first opportunity is obviously being able to be on the
Oh.
show and compete, but the second opportunity is to be able to have this time with all these amazingly talented chefs, to get to know them and form friendships and bonds, and um, you know, and be around people that you may not be able to spend much time with otherwise.
But I actually speak. Do you guys get paid on the TOC on set for based on the appearance of chefs? And I know
Um,
that
every
those are.
sh- every chef has different. I mean, I can't speak to what everyone, what happens for everyone.
But I know some of them are high profile, like Jet Tila and Ari Sakura. And,
I mean, there are some amazingly high profile chefs.
oh yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
because you got to be careful with them because on Celebrity Big Brother they get paid to be on the show, so
Yeah.
they get high paid. So that it depends on the show you're on. So
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much. I don't know much about, that's not my wheelhouse.
good. That's Guy Fieri's thing. So another question is, did the randomizer hit you when you tried to compete, or did you just have fun with the challenge?
The randomizer it's really scary.
It
Um,
is.
it is, but there's no way. I shouldn't say there's no way. You can do your best to prepare for it by cooking randomly, but the truth is you don't know what's going to happen. You have no clue what's going to come on the randomizer. So your best course of action is to go with your gut. The
Yeah.
randomizer comes up, it gives you what you are getting, and you go with your gut.
So I was looking at this, the randomizer one group they had to use green beans, and they had to use, I think it was from Dale's group.
Okay.
Yeah, from Dale's group, and they had to use some kind of cheesy, and they had to use
Use
some kind
what? Green beans and what?
cheesy. They had to use tilapia, sweet
Okay.
potatoes, and they had to make a southern dish.
Got it. Okay. That actually doesn't sound too bad
No,
in the grand scheme of what you could get on the randomizer.
because he was able to come do an elevated dish, a southern dish. He's usually Filipino, but he cooks outside of the traditions.
Yeah.
And he's a top chef. You got to be top chef to be. He knows a lot of people from the industry.
Yeah, I mean, listen, anyone that's on the show has great chef credibility and
Hmm.
experience and is worthy of being is a worthy competitor.
Oh yeah, because I was rooting. I was when I was saying who's gonna be on there for that season. Is it Spike Mendelsohn or Dale Talday? And then they picked Dale. I heard so.
Yeah.
I was so
Well,
happy when he got picked.
one of my favorite outcomes and stories of Tournament of Champions is Britt Rossinier. Have you followed Britt Rossinier?
I do. She's so sweet.
So she's become a very good friend of mine, and she and I met on the set of Tournament of Champions, and we were both in the same. We kind of both were coming in we were both the underdogs that year. Her from the East Coast, me from the West Coast. So we kind of had that connection right from the start, and then just hit it off and have been good friends since. But I love the fact that she was the underdog right from the start. First
Hmm.
episode, right? She beat out Tiffany, which
Oh yeah,
I mean, obviously that's great TV,
and marketing. Yeah,
but also like what a story, right? And then
yeah.
she kept on going, kept on going, kept on going. I mean, it was amazing to watch and to be a cheerleader for her because she's very clearly a talented chef. But it goes to show you that the coolest thing about the show is that it's really anybody's game anytime. Anytime.
That's true. So I have another question regarding. Am I fine with a few more questions? Will you return to TOC to redeem yourself in season 6? And I would also cast Kathy Fang from the Fang Family reality show on Food Network, or and Spike Mendelsohn from Top Chef.
Yeah, he was entertaining.
I love him.
Yeah. I will tell you, if I'm invited back for Tournament of Champions, I 100% would go. It is hard, and it's hard to be on it because it's a challenging show. It's
There's
hard to
power events,
it's
yeah.
hard to lose and to get your head around that and to
Hmm.
rebound from that. But even with all of those challenges and all of those things that may not have gone right for me on that show, I would be honored to go back on that show. I really do hope that they ask me back. I have no control over it, but I
But
hope
they
that
will.
I'm asked back because I would like to. I was not happy with the way that I showed up on that show, and I would love the opportunity for redemption and to be able to go on and really show what I'm capable of.
You got this. You could show some more of yourself, and you could be creative. All Guy Fieri says, elevate your food. Plating is so important. That's what he
Yeah.
wants. He even declared on one of the episodes, if you make dumplings on set, make 20 even for him. So that's what he
Mm.
said.
Uh,
That's what he said for one of
yeah.
the Asian Americans. If Kathy Fang was to make them.
Yeah.
He just want to put out a Kathy. If she was to be cast. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Because her dad was the king of dumplings in Chinatown District.
Well, I mean, listen, every year they bring new contestants on, so you
Hmm.
never know.
Do you know if the studio audience get involved? Because I want to get tickets to go next year.
I have no clue how the studio audience is chosen.
I got to get a ticket, me and my brother, to go next year.
Yeah, I mean, there is an audience. I just don't know how they're
Selected?
chosen. Yeah,
Oh wow, that's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, let me know so I could be able to take me and my brothers.
I will. If I know anything, I'll let you know. If I learn
Thank
anything.
you.
Yeah, of course.
So it was great to have you on the podcast. You were great talking
Thank
about
you.
TOC. So
Thank
what
you.
was and then we can't wait to see what kind of projects are you doing in the works regard about food and Kendall Jackson.
We've got always so many exciting things going on at Kendall Jackson. We've got our big Kentucky Derby party coming up in May, which is a huge event for us, 1,500 people. So we're getting
Wow.
ready for that. We've updated and made some changes to our food and wine programs. So there's always something going on over at KJ. It keeps us very busy in a good way.
This is Becky, my best friend. You remember that Becoming Independent? This is
Yeah.
my best friend and her mom.
Oh,
It's so
cute.
cute. Yes, this is Becky right there in the middle. She is a sweet. She's the reason why you donated to her.
Well, happy to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's thankful that you did that years
Oh,
ago.
yeah. That was a long time ago.
And they're watching, so they will be
Oh,
watching this at overtime.
oh, well, great. Thank you for watching.
So, what other things do you have? You have a new cookbook coming out,
Nope,
or
no new cookbook. Just busy working. Just busy working and
you
keeping
do
things
many?
fresh at Kendall Jackson. And we've got farm to table dinners. We're very busy over there. So it's
Good.
always exciting.
Thank you. So, well, it was good talking to you.
You too.
So thank you for coming on. And I just put on the link about the two resources. Um, we actually Tiffany donated her restaurant $5,000
Wow.
to a queer bar in Boston. It was
Wow.
by State Farm. It's actually a really good organization because
Wow.
they need the more money for the pandemic.
Wow.
Yes, so that's why we put that every episode.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so have a good one, okay?
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too, bye.
Bye.
Thank you. So that was Tracy from Kendall Jackson Tournament at Champions 4. Well, my. So I hope you have a great episode. Tune in to episode 5 as we have more food, more analysis, and have a good one. I hope you enjoyed this special episode of TOC After Hours. Bye.